been about 44 years of me working in the woods and working for the Forest Service. And he says, wow, that's twice as long as I've been alive. And I think of Brandon here, who used to quite often make note of how old and gray I was getting. And the reason I bring it up, folks, because it is my intent to share with you that it's critically important, no matter how old you are, no matter how much experience you are, you're in a position right now. The majority of the folks that I'm looking at are here to provide leadership for the resources that are out on the ground. You guys have to use your experience you've acquired to date. You have to use your knowledge of the job that you've acquired to date and your judgment that you've acquired to date. You need to blend it in with the organization and the briefing you're going to get here. And you need to go out in the field. And that's where your important job starts, at taking care of the resources that you're with and providing leadership to those folks and starting to teach them how to take care of a business out on the ground, because they're the next generation coming in behind you. So have a very wise learning day out in the field and have a good teaching day out in the field. Be careful out there. Thank you.
This last night, this area, we did have one crew and 2 engines in that hotel stuff that we burnt a couple of days ago, but it's looking really good. No issues over there. Mop up very minimal. All that heat's been taken out of that. We shifted everybody around to where the activity was last night. I'll start in Alpha Alpha. Fire continued to move around in there between the guys on the ground and the unmanned Fox 1, the UAV that was flying all night. We were able to kind of track that stuff. Shouldn't be any issues. Still set up for success to burn in there if the conditions are right today. So it shouldn't be any issues. It looked good in there. Coming around into some of this country through here, what was India for us last night. That's what we put some resources in here. The fire did back down pretty good to these houses along the Glease Road here. We actually strung some hose behind them just in case it wanted to get across that river. It's still held on this side, but it is backing down real nice down through there. Very steep country, a lot of rollout, that kind of stuff happening in there. We didn't get a whole bunch of people out in this country. We're spread out pretty thin just between this stuff. But with the unmanned Fox 1, the UAV, they kept an eye on this. This was pretty active until about 3:30 in the morning, burned real well. So it should consume. You could see on the new IR, if you guys get a chance, that it did consume pretty good in there. Hopefully that set you guys up for success. We did do a bunch of prepping last night with our crews along the Bear Camp Road. Again, hopefully eliminating some of that work you guys have to do out there today if this starts pushing there. If you guys have any questions on what happened last night, just come find me after.
Good morning. Chris Etzel, Planning Operations. Cover today's operations. So once again, we'll start in Branch 4. We'll continue our patrol and mop up in those areas there, ensuring that our east side of the perimeter is secure on the back side of these homes. As we move around into Branch 3, that's where activity picks up. Obviously, you know, we're going to anchor and flank, and that's what we do here. So Branch 3, Alpha Alpha, they're going to initiate some firing on that north end there, work to control that, and bring that fire down into the bear camp. They'll continue with their prep work as they move out into the India country. Once again, they're going to start initiating some firing, bringing the fire up off the ridges so we can work this into our control lines. Sierra will be staffed today. That'll be Sam Tacchini with his trainee. They'll be looking at opportunities how they can get off this 2402 road and bringing it back in and hook it back into the south. We still have a contingency group. They'll be working, once again, north in the Rogue River area and then north along the Peavine Road, working to create those alternate lines in case we have trouble along the bear camp. And then structures. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Morning, everybody. This day ops will have 2 structure groups, blue and gray. Gray will be working up here in Hotel South, and we're moving the blue structure group up here to the north and northwest. So 2 structure groups today. Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning, everybody. Andrew Stinchfield with Fire Behavior this morning. So a couple things for today in regards to fire behavior. There's a lot more fire on the ground out there right now than you saw earlier in the shift yesterday. So we can definitely expect things to be a lot more active here in India. with that firing operation, that fire backing off of that line there, there's a real high potential for stuff to start rolling out in that area and making little short runs back up to the top. So one of the things that we've experienced here with those short runs is spotting. So please be real heads up for that. Especially if the winds pick up this afternoon, like Tom said. I mean, we could see ridgetop gusts up to 17 miles per hour. That's pretty windy, so we can expect spots. So just be real heads up for that. The other area of concern as far as fire behavior goes is in Alfalfa, down in this Scalise drainage here, where the fires got established on the other side. Yesterday, it made some pretty good runs up towards the 2402 road. So just be heads up for that if you're working in that area. The other area is here in this Taylor Creek drainage. There was a lot of activity in there trying to kind of set things up to get it tied off. Same thing, burning off these ridge tops, fires backing down, real high potential for stuff to roll out, get stuff going below, and make short runs back up the hill. So please pay attention today, watch the winds, have a good safe shift. Thanks.
All with safety at the State Fire Marshal. So today, one of the common themes you're hearing there is you look out and you try to figure out, what are we seeing? What's our focus today? As I looked at the fire, a lot of us are shifting around or are new on the fire. So perspective is really important for you all, and it's really important for you to communicate with your crews. And by that, what we're talking about is make sure our communications are clear and that we understand our task, purpose, and end state, and that that's communicated. And in the safety realm, we're not just talking about the current grind of poison oak and the wasps out there, but when you shift to a different section of the fire, the hazards don't go away, actually they change. And by that, we're talking about, especially, we're moving away from the structures. Yeah, we're not probably gonna see some snakes or more wasps, but we're shifting to another area of the fire where the hazards might be different. And for today, what we're talking about, for those of you that are working up on the Peavine and Scalise Road area, the hazards are kind of changing. We're dealing with some mines, and some individuals that operate in those mines are pretty focused on keeping their things, if I may say. With those mines, certain implements are used to mine, and that would be explosives, blasting caps, and dynamite. So I don't know about you guys, but that brings a big watch out for me. So if you see anything that's not out there while you're focusing on the line today, I want you to avoid that. So remember SAR, see it. If it doesn't look right, avoid it and report it. And what I mean by avoid it, that's at least 1,000 feet. If you need any more help with explosives, page 27 of your IRPG. As you work your way around as well, make sure that if you're seeing new land, that you've communicated your evacuation route and your watch outs. See you guys back tomorrow.